Welcome, seekers of slumbering secrets. Tonight we're going to be talking about those dreams where you find yourself perched high above the world on a balcony, a rooftop, a mountaintop, basically standing on any high, somewhat solid surface. These dreams are a bit different from the flying dream, which I'll cover in another video soon. So let's begin with how in your dream you find yourself standing in a high place. What is the universe in its infinite and sometimes peculiar wisdom trying to tell you? Well, like most things viewed from a great height, it depends entirely on your perspective. First of all, let's consider the view from your lofty perch. Standing on a balcony or any high place often signifies gaining perspective, or at least trying to. You're literally looking down upon or outward towards a particular scene that holds meaning to you. Perhaps you're feeling a sense of overview in your waking life, maybe seeking a moment of clarity where you can finally see the bigger picture. Maybe you see yourself as having risen above the petty squabbles, the day-to-day chaos and challenges in your life. Or perhaps you're just being nosy about the neighbors or snooping on your office coworkers. After all, dreams aren't always profound messages from the universe. Sometimes they're just reflections of your daily life, your stressors, annoyances, and so forth and so on. As I always say, you should pay attention to the feelings you have during the dream. Are you basking in the sunshine, surveying your domain like a benevolent monarch or a slightly smug Persian cat? This often points to feelings of achievement, success, and ambition fulfilled. You've reached a certain pinnacle, a high point in your career, your personal life, or perhaps you just finally mastered your grandma's old-timey cornbread recipe. Take time to bask in the feeling of fulfillment, like a contented cat on a dog-safe platform. But do check those guardrails, just in case you slip. Now, what if the feeling you have, isn't so, shall we say, elevated? What if your knees are knocking, the wind is whistling ominously, and you have the distinct sensation that the railing is made of limp spaghetti? Aha, yes. You guessed it. It's our old friend anxiety coming to call in the form of the fear of falling. This isn't always literal fear of heights, of course. It can represent a fear of failure, a fear of losing your current standing, the daunting pressure of expectations, either those you place on yourself or those other people place on you. It can also signify feeling isolated or exposed. When you're up high on a pedestal, everyone can see you, including your own inner critic, who often has the loudest voice and the sharpest binoculars. We also need to think about what you're standing on in this dream. Is it a sturdy, ornate balcony attached to a grand house, perhaps even a castle? This can suggest that you have security and confidence in your achievements, especially in relation to your home life. A bare rooftop. This might relate more to your public life, career, or a feeling of exposure in a less personal context. Or maybe it's just that the boss wants to see you back in the office 5 days a week. A mountaintop? Yes, this is a classic symbol of a major achievement, fulfilling spiritual quests like we see in all those cheesy motivational posters. Or perhaps it may just be a feeling of isolation, of being alone, standing outside and above the petty distractions and squabbles of everyday life. Speaking of mountains, what about a dream of being on a precarious cliff edge? Ooh, step back from that ledge, my friend. This often screams decision point, risk, danger, or standing on the verge of a major change. It may be warning you to be careful, to watch out for a false step or shaky ground. And who are you with in this dream, if anyone at all? Are you alone? This could mean independence, clarity gained through solitude, or simply cold isolation. Are you with a loved one? Perhaps sharing a perspective, a joint achievement, or navigating anxieties together? Are you perched on the balcony, maybe addressing a crowd below or watching them do work or something? Maybe that points to you having leadership aspirations, or maybe just a deep-seated desire to be in charge of something, anything, in your life. This, of course, ties into the actions you're taking while in this high place. What are you doing up there? Are you simply observing, enjoying the scenery, feeling the breeze in your hair? Are you waving or otherwise interacting with someone or something? Are you perhaps doing something rather odd, like hopping up and down while juggling geese? I suppose we can say that the simple act of observing suggests contemplation, perhaps trying to gain understanding of something from a bird's eye view. Waving or other similar actions could be trying to create a connection from a distance to someone or something. That might require a separate dream analysis beyond being in a high place. If you're doing something strange and weird, well, I'll leave that for you to figure out unless you want to dish out the juicy details in the comments. Speaking of odd details like this, a friend of mine once told me about a recurring dream where she was standing on a very high platform while desperately trying to water the plants in a garden far below with a sippy cup. It came to light that she felt overwhelmed and inadequate in her new role at work, while trying to balance that with being a relatively new mom. Stress in waking life can easily translate into stress in your dream life, something we always need to be aware of when interpreting our dreams. And, yes, sometimes dream symbols can be wild and strange, but they often are a way for your resting subconscious mind to find relief or inspiration. So the next time you find yourself dreaming of dizzying heights on a balcony or cliff, ask yourself these questions upon waking. How did you feel? What could you see? Is the structure sound, or are you clinging on to it for dear life? And what else is going on around you? These dreams of elevated places offer you a unique vantage point, not just upon the dreamscape below, but into the landscape of your own mind. I believe that writing down what you remember as soon as you wake in a dream journal is one of the best ways for you to ensure you get the most benefit from what your resting, dreaming mind, and perhaps even the universe beyond is trying to show you. That's all for this journey into the peaks and precipices of dreams. Until next time, may your dreams be illuminating and insightful, or at least amusing and weird, and if that's the case, share the details of them in the comments, if you dare. Now, my friends, it's time to slumber and dream once again. Drath saltus silin verir.